Hello guys, Rob here. Telos blockchain governance recently came under attack during the first ratified proposal, the Telos Economic Development Plan. The TEDP is what will bring 0% inflation and up to 30% REX ROI, as well as funds for Telos Foundation, worker proposals, improved block producer pay for up to 10 years. This is because all that inflation and funding will come from an already existing supply of tokens in the Exchange Reserve Fund. The fund that is reserved for the exchanges to claim, because we have seen a low exchange participation in terms of wanting to claim tokens for their users. This is just a big 140-ish million pile of Telos pretty much just sitting dormant on the blockchain at this point. So the Telos Economic Development Plan saw overwhelming support with about 97% yes votes. But a single account was able to attack the voting with just 10,000 tokens in their account. This was due to an error in the way the voting threshold was calculated, an actual error in the code that has been fixed. So like I said, one account with 10,000 tokens was able to stop the will of 11.2 million tokens voting yes and about 20 million tokens voting overall. Here's the attacker's account. Had about 10,000 tokens in it. And what this account did was create a bunch of accounts. Created over 4,000 accounts, all on the same key. So you can see them here. Here's the key they used. All accounts just like this. We have what? 235 pages of accounts on accounts on accounts, all using the same key, all registered as voters. And what this did was put the voter threshold, the amount of accounts needing to vote for a proposal, above the amount of accounts that actually did. So 232 separate accounts voted on this proposal, but the attacker pushed the threshold up to 271. This is where the error comes in. What the Telos governance documents say is a ratify amend contract with no less than 15% vote participation among votable TLOS tokens. So not a certain percentage of voting accounts, but the actual amount of tokens. Now, the way the code was set, which was an error and has been fixed, was to look at the number of voting accounts to determine the percentage needed to pass a proposal, when it should have been looking at the amount of votable tokens for the percentage needed to pass a proposal. So back on July 27th, when the voting for the TEDP did come to an end, I was the first in the Telegram asking about what this means because of the threshold of voting accounts being pushed above the actual number of voting accounts. And members of Telos block producers and the Telos core development immediately made it known that they are aware of the problem and are talking amongst themselves, looking through the code, looking through the governance documents. And a little bit later was a solution. There was an error in the way that the voter threshold was calculated, and that they pushed it to testnet for testing and went through all the normal testing procedures. And then once that was done, they were going to push that to mainnet with an MSIG from the top 21 block producers. Code has been updated. The updates have been pushed to mainnet. The TEDP has passed. So we saw an amazing response from the block producers, from the Telos core development team, identifying the problem, finding and implementing the solution on testnet, testing it, and then pushing it to mainnet. To me, it shows how strong the network is. Within a week, the code was updated. If this was another blockchain, I'm not going to name any names, but we'd be waiting for years for a code update. They'd say it's coming at the end of this year and then push it another year. So I just wanted to give kudos to the Telos block producers and core development that worked on this. Yes, it would have been better if the code wasn't wonked up to begin with, but what more could you ask for from BPs and developers than identifying a problem, coding the solution, pushing that solution to testnet and testing it, and then implementing it to the mainnet in about a week's time? It really shows the strength of the block producer and development community, and the Telos community as a whole, really. So the short of it is, the code has been fixed. The Telos Economic Development Plan has been voted through. For an in-depth write-up on everything that happened, the problems with the code, the configuration error, the code error, the exploit, the outcome, I'll leave a link here to the Medium article by Douglas Horn from GoodBlock. So if you want to read up more, check out the article in the description. I'll also leave a link below to this Telos page if you want to learn more about Telos, the Telos Economic Development Plan, as well as other features on Telos. And if you haven't already, get yourself a free Telos account. This page is brought to you with the support of the Telos community via the worker proposal system. But that's going to do it for me for this one. I will see you guys in the next one.